So, Terra Formars is a very intriguing anime. Not in a mystery kind of sense, but there is some of that within the show as well. But in the sense that it's a very weird but really good watch. Funnily enough, this wasn't a recommendation by Captain Blastem, even though he did recommend one, but I'm very hesitant to review that show because of how fucked up that one was. Anyways, Kuba, my partner in crime for this channel, was the one who told me about it, and while the name itself sounds a bit boring, at least to me, but after he told me the basic story, I was all in. On that note, I might as well tell you the story. In the year 2020, humanity sent out a colony of cockroaches and some moss to Mars in hopes of finding out whether Mars will be habitable in the future. While this sounds like a fairly safe and good idea, something went wrong, as it always does. Skipping a few hundred years into the future, there's a disease that is believed to have originated from Mars that's infected people on Earth. It has a 100% death rate and there's no way to make a vaccine for it without going to its origin. But there was already a mission to Mars a few years prior, which failed due to one big problem. The cockroaches that were sent there in the past somehow evolved into big muscular monsters resembling your local steroid-addicted gym goer. And these guys are fucking scary. They stare at the characters like a love-crazy yandere, but instead of killing you because they love you so much, they'll kill you just for being a human. And let me tell you, they don't care whether you're a man, woman, or child. They'll rip your head off if given the chance. Anyways, I could give you more info about the story, but I would highly suggest watching it yourself. It's one of those shows that has a weird story, but goddamn if it wasn't good. Also, before I get into the rating, just be aware there's a lot of gore, cause a lot of the characters get killed very quickly, so keep that in mind. In terms of story, I don't think the basic story, while being weird and intriguing, is the best part in terms of the story overall. The show puts a lot of focus on the main cast and their own backstories, but rather than just dumping it on you in the first couple of episodes, they do it slowly and where it's appropriate, and I think this is done very well, and honestly, all the main cast have a good enough story for you to get invested in at least one of them. And it's not basic either. Some of the characters have some fucked up past that lends itself well with the brutality of the show, and when it's not showing all kinds of horrible stuff, it's a nice break between the little neck breaks. So for the story, I give it an 8 out of 10. As for the characters, like I already mentioned, they all have some backstory that places them on the mission to Mars. Some are more important than others, but that's a given. But either way, it's still interesting to see how they all interact with each other and what got them to where they are. I will say that maybe some of the characters that are disguised as the main cast aren't really all that important later on, but they still are a big part of the show as a whole. In terms of design, it's nothing big, but I'll give the characters a solid 8 out of 10. Now the action is where Terra Formars does best. This is as brutal as it gets, and I mean it. You like a character? Well, they're gone. Oh, you're warming up to this person? Well, that's a shame. Ooh, but maybe this character... You get my point, right? Now you might be thinking that there's no point of getting attached to any living being in this series because even the roaches get murked, but some actually do make it till the end of the first season. But yeah, the action is amazing. They don't hold any punches in terms of who's an important character or not, and it adds a level of uncertainty, so it gets a 10 out of 10 from me. Oh yeah, and for this anime I actually paid attention to the sound. Maybe Kuba-senpai will actually notice me for following in his footsteps. Anyways, let's not make this any weirder. The sound design is actually amazing. You can feel every punch and kick that happens because of how well they did the sound. Every single thing within a fight just sounds 10 times more awesome just because of that, and I appreciate it very much. Anyways, I'll give it a 9 out of 10. Animation wise, first I'll say that either the studio changed or maybe because the seasons were a few years apart, but the animation styles changed between season 1 and 2. But as I don't really know, and this review is mainly of the first season, I'll just ignore that for now. But be aware. But yeah, the animation isn't crazy, but it's good enough to keep up with the action, and I liked it quite a bit, so it gets a 9 out of 10. Overall, the show gets a 44 out of 50. It's a really great show that I'd highly recommend to any gore enthusiast, or if you love action within shows like I do. The reason this review is mainly on season 1 is because I only had time to watch the first season and I think it can stand up on its own even without the second one, but who knows, I might love it as much as I loved the first one, or it'll be much worse. Either way, I hope you enjoyed the review. Be sure to leave us a like and maybe press that subscribe button. We recently surpassed 30 subs, which is a bit surprising to us. I mean, what kind of degenerates would like our content, right? I'm kidding. But yeah, pop a comment down below saying what you'd like to see next, or maybe if you have something to say about the vid. And with that, I'll see you later.